make sure to share the link too. Hey everybody, if you're seeing this recording later, bear with us as we check that the stream is going out and we share the link.
I'm checking.
We are good to go on Twitter.
And on YouTube also.
Can you drop the YouTube link? Is there like a direct YouTube link? Hey, Sahil's here. Okay, people can find us. We're good. Nice. All right. So, hey, welcome to the 13th Gimbalabs weekly update. It is a really exciting update just on the surface level because I'm no longer using just the blank PowerPoint template, but we have a little bit of branding here. And we're really excited to share our logo, and the colors you see on this slide are some of the colors we'll be using in our branding. So exciting stuff. April 16th, 2021. Let's jump in. So we do our weekly update every week on Friday. We're doing it a little bit early today because it's a busy day. There's a lot going on. So sorry to be going a little bit early, but I hope you're catching us whenever it's convenient. Every week we share some shout outs for the week that was. We talk about what we've done, our next steps and your next steps, and then we stick around for Q&A. Hey, and we've got Juan and Matthew in the chat as well. Excellent. Thanks for finding us, guys. Party. Okay, so let's jump right in. It has been an exciting week, and I feel like we are definitely forgetting things on every one of these slides, so please keep those questions coming. But Roberto, do you want to take it away with the shout outs?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you, Caso and Giovanni from Boost and EC1 Pools for writing Catalyst proposals that use Dandelion as backing service and backing project. They presented an API authorization mechanism that I will be happy to use for Dandelion. That's from Giovanni. And Caso presented a C64 wallet whose main target is to empower anyone that wants to mint NFTs fully on chain. Yeah, for that, it's gonna be a light wallet, and we'll use Dandelion. I granted him full access to our free services for his production.
I can't wait to play with that. Yeah, speaking of playing, we had a good time in the playground this week, and it's exciting that things are getting real. So first of all, in addition to shouting y'all out who were there at the meeting this week, just want to say thanks for really being there for this process, because we went from asking a question that we really didn't even know how to ask the right way, and I take full responsibility for that, to kind of having a better idea for what we needed to learn and build in the first place. And it feels really good to be to the point where we are building something together. I know that Pior and Will, they might be working as we speak right now on some of the front end implementation. So we are really excited to have more to share about that moving forward. And we get to thank Matthew twice today, because also you published the EUTXO video the other day. If you haven't seen that, make sure to check it out, everybody. Matt, I really appreciate your approach to these videos, and I'm so excited to kind of see what you take out from our playground meetings and begin to tell the stories from there. Cardano Sharp World, what's going on?
Yeah, so you know, as everyone may or may not know, but Cardano Sharp got funded, and we have a new, I have a partner in crime, I'd like to say, Daniel. He's actually from Cosmo, I believe. So another SPO lending their dev school or skills, which I really appreciate. But yeah, he jumped in, and we just been kind of powwowing. We're getting along really well, so it's really good to find more developers that just kind of align with your vision and what you're trying to accomplish. So yeah, huge shout out for him, and I really appreciate the help.
Awesome. Also, shout outs to Mercy and the WADA team for trusting us to support with some of the work you're doing and some of the education initiatives. To everybody I met there this week, to Monfo, to Megan, and to Jason, it was really nice to get to spend some time together, and I'm excited to keep following up with you. And then also to the unexpected surprise of the week, Felix, for jumping in. Want to double shout out Sophie, I guess, as well. Thanks for the introduction, and Felix, thanks for jumping in and being so thoughtful about the kind of support and maybe the pathway forward to really bring Swarm Sessions from being this incredibly dynamic group. I'm really excited to keep looking at how our playground process can serve as the scaffolding that people involved in Swarm Sessions might need to really start bringing ideas to life. It was so invigorating to sit in with you all. What the heck day was that? Was that Wednesday? I think so. It was to sit in with you all on Wednesday and learn about how you do things and to really start thinking big about how we can move forward. So much more to come on that. Yeah, we're just fired up to be really meeting our like-minded people from across the world. What have we done? Let's start with you, Kyle.
All right, so so with Cardano Sharp, I finally got a lot of what I've been calling my playground environment into the start of a wallet library for Cardano Sharp. So again, Cardano Sharp is a .NET serialization library. Best way to put it, I guess, if that term kind of might resonate with some people. So this is where you can make your wallets, manage your wallets and create transactions. So getting that up there for people to start getting some transparency. We also now have a public Trello board where you can kind of see what we're actively working on, what's been done, kind of like what's in the pipeline. And we're definitely looking for kind of like feedback. It might be kind of hard for non-technical folks to at least have input on the technical side. But we are, creating demos, right, is a part of the proposal. So I think that's where, some of the more non-technical, input can be done. And I'm really interested in that. So I think it'd be really cool to hear some at least cool data science-y type things. Like maybe we can show some cool data a certain way, or and when it comes to wallets, maybe some crazy cool demo for creating NFTs or just another light wallet or something. So
that's really cool, and that's what you're naming there is kind of part of the model we need to do with all the Dandelion endpoints as well, right? Show some data, some stories about what they do. It's really exciting. Speaking of Dandelion, what you got, partner?
Okay, so it's a bit late, but we have a new deployment with latest versions. It was delayed because I wanted to mirror deployments on a new provider and take ownership of my own Kubernetes cluster, and using a new provider where I manage the cluster itself, because on Scaleway, or our original provider, that's something that the provider did for me. I wanted to do this because probably people want to start these deployments from the scratch, just connecting through SSH, deploying Kubernetes, and then deploying Dandelion top. And I wanted to go to that process and find an easy way to do that. And I will be sharing that story on Coding on Chain soon also. So we have new versions. They are not published yet. We will be running in parallel with the old ones because we now support some projects, and there are some breaking changes, so we cannot just switch endpoints and put the new versions on the old URLs because things will break. So I will be running them for some time in parallel. Then I will update both deployments to latest version and start using a DNS records that include the versions for the services. So it's a first step, simple step to have identified which version of the service you are using, which version of GraphQL you are using. So if you are using DNS 4.0.0.testnet dandelion.link, you are sure that that's gonna be version 4 for sure. For whatever time, how long it survives in the time, it will be the version that you want to use. Yeah, that's it for the new provider news. Who wants to take?
I made a separate slide for this one. Yeah, so one of the big things we did this week was just polished off our initial proposals for Catalyst Fund 5. So more on that in just a moment. And how about that coding on chain to stay on the Dandelion piece for a minute?
Thanks, Matt, for using it.
So the latest coding on chain videos have been great because not only can you learn about deploying Dandelion yourself, but Roberto and Kyle have collaborated to make a version for every operating system, or at least the big three, right? There's a Windows version, there's a Mac OS, and the Linux one happened this week and will be released on YouTube shortly. So I know that's on my weekend homework list. To watch that and make sure I can get through it. So guys, shout out from me to you for making those.
Yeah, we'll be releasing Mac OS. Actually that just released. The Linux demo really, and then walkthrough that'll be released over the weekend. And just want to point out, Cardano Sharp is actually using Dandelion very heavily when it comes to a lot of this. So like me and Daniel, like we went through the Windows walk through, got it all set up. Roberto, luckily was very helpful in helping answer our more programming mind questions. So it's at least in the development side, that's actually saving us money. So that's a really very big, impactful tool that just programmers are able to get up and running and use. So. I may be helping at least with the content wise, but I'm very grateful for this type of service. So
a lot of gratitude to go around. Yeah, it's been such an exciting week because I've seen and experienced just being supported by so many different people. So it's really exciting to be in this spot where I think a lot of us have a lot to give to each other. So thank you to everybody who has contributed. And yeah, it's reciprocal in a lot of directions. It's kind of hard to really cover everything we've done this week. There have been so many little conversations and we've moved the ball forward on so many things. We shared some of those in shout outs kind of indirectly. So I already talked about getting things off the ground with WADA. We're so excited to keep that going. There's a Catalyst proposal connected to that, which we'll talk more about in just a minute. And same thing with the playground. We now have a very clear first DApp that we are building, and it allows us to kind of implement everything we understand so far about what can be done with metadata and with native assets, what role decentralized storage might need to play, thinking about authentication, which in turn spawned its own Catalyst proposal. But also everything we're doing there is laying foundations for future work. Colab is not the only event ticketing DApp we will build. And a lot of the stuff we're building will apply to other applications besides event ticketing as well. So a lot to come. I just know that I feel really grateful that that work feels like it has direction right now. So thanks to everybody who's been part of that. So yeah, in terms of Catalyst Fund 5, we touched on this last week. We are moving into a phase of of interacting with Catalyst in a way that allows the entire Catalyst community to help set the direction of Gimbalabs. Of course, as proposers, we hope that all of these are funded, right? But if you want to play a role in, you know, telling us that one thing has a higher priority than another, this is your chance to go vote for the parts that you want. Okay. Now, of course, we're not in voting phase yet. We're still in the feedback phase. So everybody who's participating in Catalyst, please do find these proposals, ask questions about them. So as we go into the revision phase, we will have your input and we'll be trying to incorporate it. There's nothing better than a thoughtful question in the Catalyst comment section that can really drive your work forward as a proposer. Is it worth it to say a word about these one by one, or should we just leave it up for a minute and let everybody kind of take a mental snapshot?
Or pause the video.
Yeah, just pause right here.
Yeah, I would call to action. Go and check them because they are dense. Some of them are, yeah, well thought, well planned. So not some. All of them are like to take their time.
And I forgot, I threw in a value onboarding proposal as well for that challenge. And I forgot to throw it on here too. So you'll see one from me in there that connects to a lot of the community onboarding work that we're trying to do. But yeah, excited about all of these in their own way. At the end of the day, the critical piece here is that every one of these supports the other, right? I mean, we could easily draw a map. I mean, without the APIs, we can't run some of these other things, right? Without devs, we can't build G-type. But without G-type, we don't have anything for devs to do, right? So it goes in every direction, one informing the other. And the simple fact is the entire Cardano and Catalyst communities are still launching right now. We have not reached cruising speed yet because the funds are not fully unleashed. Okay, so to everybody out there who's done work for Gimbalabs and you've been volunteering your time, we see you, and this really matters to us. And first of all, we're grateful for what you've done so far, but we do not expect for this approach to remain sustainable. And we are very eager to start paying folks for contributions. And that's why we have this array of proposals to really put money where the entire community's intentions are, right? Everybody who is invested either with their finances or with their hopes and dreams in what Cardano is going to do, we all know we want these things to happen, and they're not going to happen for free, right? We need talented developers to help build this stuff. And so that's why we've got this array. So this is a good transition to the next thing we want to talk about today is our ongoing hiring process. It was a nice, quick process to bring aboard a lead developer for Gimbalabs.com. So we're really excited to welcome Gabe. He's consulting with us on a project basis, not joining full time, but gonna put his all into making Gimbalabs.com be what we all think it can be. And you know, this is there's a lot to improve. I know that, and so I'm really excited to professionalize it and to add some clarity around, for example, the Dandelion documentation and everything else we're going to do. We mentioned last week that the next role we'd like to bring aboard is a project leader for the Dandelion, the entire Dandelion project. In all likelihood, this is soon going to be a couple of roles, but we want to start with one. And so we're gonna post that. I think we have to just fine tune it a little bit. So I think, should Monday be the deadline for ourselves on that?
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah, apologies to the community for not getting that one on the board this week. We thought we'd have time to do that, but there were a few other things we had to take care of first. So we will polish off our draft of that and get it up. And same thing with the playground development tasks. These kind of happened more informally this week because we really we had the chance to really clarify the scope of the Colab app. And basically, we defined some tasks straight out of there. So Pior and I are actually working on a model for people to come in and start contributing, and also to think about how we compensate for learning time. So he's been a leader in that already, and he and I have an ongoing experiment that we'll be able to tell everybody a little bit more about as we begin to run it. Anything, do you guys have questions about that or things to add here? Good deal.
No, I don't.
Cool. Yeah. This might have to be a new part of our weekly updates. It's just talking about kind of the ongoing operationalizing of Gimbalabs and how we're really thinking about growing our team, because there's work to do and we're really fired up to do it, and it's going to be a team effort. So next steps. Ooh, Cardano Sharp's at the top again. Let's start with you, Kyle.
Oh man. Okay. So right now I talked about how the wallet library is open, and we can anybody can go look at the code. It's very much still a work in progress. Like I said, it kind of came from a sandboxy playground environment. So, unit tests and stuff are being thrown up to validate all work. But really the next stages are, taking, where we're creating keys for wallets and creating addresses. So whether it's a reward address or a payment address, right? So that's about where that's at. And right now, Daniel is working on what if you talk to me about this library, you'll quickly realize like I kind of categorize it into read and write areas. So he's jumped on board, like I said, and he's working on our read demo. And part of this is really like an explorer. That's one capability of what we can do with this type of library. So in the future, when you reference a transaction or you want to go look up something, you might go to like cardanosharp.com and throw in a transaction hash, and we can use that as a explorer. So that's just one thing that we can do with this type of library. So
That's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
So in the Dandelion vein, I will be working on integrating basic monitoring. That means Prometheus and Grafana, some dashboard that, do the basic health check for the Cardano node tip, Cardano DB sync tip, because they are different databases in the end. So I have that implemented on my own infrastructure, very, very tailored to my current infrastructure, but that's something that will be helpful for whoever that wants to really deploy this and serve the API market that we want and plan to build. So that's the next step for it. Do you want to take the next one?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to keep, like we already talked about, we're going to keep working on those Catalyst proposals, and we welcome your feedback. Let's keep it on the Dandelion page. Did you already talk about so anything specific to share about documentation?
No, it's really simple right now because it's all you need to deploy locally. But obviously, if you want to really deploy this thing in, say, a professionalized environment, probably want to know more about how to spread the load around different nodes, use Kubernetes. In the end, that will be more in the Kubernetes side of things than in customized Dandelion. Although I want to connect into the point below, refining the catalyst proposal, I want to draw something, show all the moving pieces of Dandelion. So that diagram or schema will be integrated in the documentation also.
Oh, cool.
Because
cool.
And I would like to really attest to when it comes to getting, like I said, we use Dandelion locally for specifically when we talk about the read demo. All I did was follow the Windows coding on chain session plus the README, and that was about it. I mean, Roberto definitely had to make sure that I was like, did you do your dependencies and stuff like that? But a lot of it came down to just following what he put forward for us, and it really did. And there were some little tweaks, so specifically that we needed to expose, like the database. But I mean, it's right there in the README. I followed that, and I had a custom port opened up so I can look at that database and start reading data using the library. So I just it is definitely there, and you can definitely start playing with it, which is super exciting. So
the best working draft of the Dandelion docs would be in the Coding on Chain videos, and we're going to continue to refine those. I'm actually going to be testing them in some of the kind of learning opportunities that have been going out. I know that in the POA dev course, we'll be using customized Dandelion next week to start interacting a bit more. So that'll be fun. And building in Playground, this encompasses a lot. What are the key things we want to share here?
Do you want to tease some libraries?
Sorry, I'm getting unmuted there. I mean, when it comes to playgrounds, I mean, for me, there's always something we can tinker with. But I mean, if it is something kind of like the way that we are using Dandelion, because I mean, ultimately, we're using Dandelion a little differently. I mean, even to the point where, I'm really going in and just shutting off a bunch of services because I don't need to run them. Because I need that database, and I might want some GraphQL stuff. But other than that, so I might be tweaking a little bit. So that could be fun to kind of get in there and, do a little extra, right? Like fine tune your own offering or what you need locally. And I mean, it really could be something really simple where we can grab, Dandelion, Cardano Sharp, like the DB Sync stuff. We can set up an API and then start building like a nice little Next.js spa right on top of a .NET API, and we're kind of really connecting all three of our worlds. Sorry, wait, actually over here. So we could all really leverage our skill sets and kind of show maybe even what traditional, like building like a what Cardano Scan or Block Explorer. Like, I mean, you could do that today. Honestly, that would with Dandelion and Cardano Sharp. Mm-hmm. So that's very capable. That'd be cool.
I like the idea, like connecting the two worlds, developers and operations. That's actually the DevOps advocate position. How you build artifacts that run locally in as close as possible as they will run in the production environment. That's my goal, my professional career, and I love that job.
You hit the wrong button.
30 minutes. Yeah, and the playground. So the playground work gives us a chance to practice these processes too. In addition to all we're learning about the tech, we are learning how to work together. And so, thanks to everybody for the patience with that. But you are part of, and you are learning, everything we hope to learn in this kind of R&D phase of these early stages of Gimbalabs is, hey, how loose can a team be, right? Like, how can you not insist that people commit, but also have reliability at the same time? We're playing with all of that. And we're also looking to the future. A whole bunch of us are in the Plutus Pioneers program right now. And it makes it so much easier to work through. it makes it so much easier to access the Plutus learning materials, because in the back of my mind, I'm already trying to look at things and say, okay, well, what are the implications of this for our playground work? So it's really nice how all this fits together. And as you can imagine, these are questions that the three of us, and I think everybody in the chat would be willing to talk about anytime. So long story short, a lot of fun to come over the next few weeks and months as we continue to build stuff together. So your next steps as a community, get ready for that Dandelion API market. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so I encourage everyone to start deploying this thing. Just start playing with it, because if we manage to build what we want to build, there will be a professional and commercial opportunity for many stake pool operators. So get ready, because this is gonna launch.
Wait, you're telling me if I watch your coding on chain video and I spin up a dandelion, it's about more than just doing this for fun? There might be an opportunity there?
Thanks to Giovanni, we might have a monetization mechanism soon. So because the API authorization mechanism is more than that.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's awesome. And everybody, right? This is there's been some tech talk today in this weekly update, but everybody, all stakeholders should take a look at not just ours, but everybody's Catalyst proposals. Your comments are the essential currency of the entire Catalyst process. Without having thoughtful readers commenting on the proposals there, these proposals won't be what we all want them to be. Okay, I get so energized every time there is feedback there, and it gives me something to chew on and think about, and then try to make the proposal better. So please, please, please get in there into Catalyst, Idea Scale, and take a look and give some people some inspiring things to think about. That is the end of our agenda. Gosh, we've tipped the 30-minute mark. We have to. But there's been a lot going on, so we hope we didn't waste anybody's time with these share outs today. And thanks for the energy in the chat, everybody. Who's got questions based on what we've shared today?
The government.
The government's going to have a lot of questions. We know that's coming. We just got to be ready to answer them. Thanks, Ada Booster.
Hey, I really appreciate jumping on coding on chain. So that's Jaime right there. Roberto's counterpart there, and Crime with the NFT on chain. So that was super cool. I don't know. I made like a really weird guest appearance during that one. I might have thrown off the Spanish flow, and I apologize. But it was really cool being able to just like jump in, and I guess like that's really the mentality of coding on chain. Like that's the way I always envisioned it, and hopefully we will definitely embrace that in the future. And yeah, you're always welcome back on anytime you want. So.
Yeah. Ooh, A's got a reminder of a next step for everybody too. Thanks for this. Gimbal Pool is now advertising a lifetime 11% return on stake, which is really kind of unprecedented in the Cardano stake pool space. Am I allowed to joke about that? Probably get in trouble for that. Anyway, we got a block in our first epoch online, and it was really nice to kind of see that working out. But yeah, we would love to get to the point where we can trust that a block might come in every 5 days. So we need about 1.25 million more to get to that point. So if anybody, every little bit helps. So thanks for that. And hey, thanks for that reminder. All right. Well, I'm inspired. I'm excited actually now that we're done with our meetings for the day to dig into the playground a little bit. That's right. Roberto doesn't want to take credit for the tech behind it, but we were talking about this earlier. It's yeah, I bet part of it's luck, but the thing is this deployment is reliable, right? The way Roberto has built this and the way that people can pick it up and use it, it's pretty impressive. So anybody who's thinking about running a stake pool, we would love to help you with that. We're going to pilot this stuff with WADA, like I said. But I have high hopes for the infrastructure that you've built there, Roberto, for really helping the network become what it can be.
Yeah, man, I'm jealous of Gimbal Pool first block. I needed to wait like months. We did it like in 2 weeks for this one. That's awesome.
That's a good question. Yes, definitely. We're gonna need Marlowe in some of the work we do. What's cool about it, what's cool about it is, and correct me if I'm saying this wrong, Marlowe is a subset of Plutus.
Yeah,
right?
That's correct.
Right,
Yep.
and it has a nice user interface. Basically, by learning Plutus, we are gaining access to all of the functionality of Marlowe without just needing to go through. Basically, the main thing Marlowe provides is for folks who might be experts in the financial world, but not expert developers. This is going to give people a way to see how smart contracts can fit together and see what the Cardano platform can do. Okay. But if we can learn as much as we can about Plutus, we can kind of bypass the need for Marlowe for a lot of the stuff we're building internally. And yeah, the reason we're starting this playground process right now is that the Plutus testnet is going to go live sometime in May, right? So we're a month away, give or take, from being able to take our ideas and start incorporating them into this dApp we're building. That's going to be really fun. All right. Hey, I'm excited for some maker time, everybody. What do you say? All right. Yeah, that's right. You don't have to be part of the Pioneers program to check out those Plutus sessions. And if anybody can't find those links, just ping us on the Discord and we'll make sure to post them there for you.
And also, I want to shout out Damien, one of the Fun2 proposers and winners, who is writing a Haskell book, which might be handy to people learning Plutus. So if you want to access that, yeah, ask me and I will share the link.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out today, everybody. Hope you've had a good week and a restful weekend to come, and we're excited to get back at it with you next week. So take care and talk to you soon.
Have a good one.